Kia ora, my name is Eric Johnson, and today we will be going through Activity 1B in the Oceans of Tomorrow booklet. This activity explores the pH of different liquids you can find around your household. For this demonstration today, we've prepared 10 different liquids. We have salty water, pickle juice, tap water, Earl Grey tea, vinegar, ocean water, Milo, oat milk, coffee, and lemon juice. For this demonstration, you're going to need a way to measure pH, which can either be these handy digital pH meters or classic pH test strips. If you are using a digital pH meter for this experiment, you're going to want to make sure the meter is properly calibrated before beginning. Before you measure anything, the idea with this experiment is to taste each of the 10 different liquids and rank it from most basic, neutral, to acidic. Of course, in most lab settings, you're not supposed to drink anything at all, so make sure the things that you are going to be consuming are safe to do so, and you also don't have to drink the whole beaker. Obviously, you want to leave some left to be able to sample. So I'm going to be using this little spoon here just to take little sips. So first up we have oat milk, which I think is kind of a tough one. I'm not sure what I'd expect it to be. Tastes like oat milk. I don't think it's acidic at all, so I'll put it pretty close to neutral, but on the basic side. Next up we have vinegar. I already know what this is going to taste like. It's acidic. I'll put it pretty far to the end. Alright, so I'm sure you get the picture by now, so I'll just go through the rest of these real quick, and we'll see where I reckon they end up. Alright, so now that we've ranked these substances from what we reckon is the least acidic to most acidic, we can start filling out the data form that comes with this booklet here. So the next step of the experiment will be to actually measure the pH and compare what we find with the pH measurement to what we found with our taste. So we'll start with these test strips. The way that they work, they actually test a lot of stuff because these are aquarium test strips, but they've got a pH column here that ranges from 6 to about 9, and you compare how the color on this one changes through there. So immediately you might notice pH of 6. That probably won't be acidic enough to register the vinegar or the pickle or the lemon or maybe even the coffee. So you have to be careful when using pH strips as they won't necessarily have the full range. So you'll see right away that the pH strip didn't really change much in color from its initial start. So that's showing pH of 6 or less, really. The vinegar we're going to expect with the digital pH meter to be much, much more acidic than that. Let's try using the pH test strip with something that we know should be slightly basic. So we did get a color change, and this is showing something a bit darker. You can see how tough it gets to actually accurately measure pH with these test strips. So we're going to switch over to the digital pH meter now instead. This should hopefully give us a more accurate reading and let us differentiate between the 10 different liquids we have here. So we'll start just by measuring tap water. We'd expect it to be around 7. It can really be slightly acidic, slightly basic, but it should in theory, be near neutral. And in fact, our pH meter is reading about 6.96 or so quite close to 7, so we know that one's measuring correctly. Continue to measure along all the different liquids and see how your pHs compare to how you ordered things. Be sure to record the values that you're measuring in your booklet. So now that you've measured everything, how did your results compare with what you expected? I figured out I'm pretty bad at figuring out what actually tastes alkaline versus acidic. The one that I thought was the absolute most alkaline, tea, was actually pretty acidic at about 5.4. So you learn something new every day. From here, you can go through the different discussion questions and answer them as best you can. There's some extension exercises that you might be able to tackle as well if you're feeling real keen. Cheers.